In a period of 6 weeks from late July to the end of August, over 15,000 people were killed in France by heat exhaustion, dehydration, and heat stroke. Most of the dead were elderly, left to perish in a city deserted for the annual August holiday. On one day alone, a day that's now known as Black Monday, 3,000 Parisians died.
The famous Black Monday, when around 3,000 people died in Paris in one night. Never during the Second World War did so many people die in one night in Paris, even during the bombings. We were dealing with things on such a scale. Paris had never had that many victims in one go.
Dr. Patrick Perlou was on the front line of the crisis. His hospital was overwhelmed as more and more of the dead and dying arrived. The morgues were soon full. There were so many bodies, a refrigerated warehouse at the edge of the city had to be used as a temporary morgue.
What you see over there are the zinc roofs of Paris. People were baking in there. The police were opening doors only to find corpses behind them. We had people absolutely everywhere, and the morgue was overflowing. They no longer had anywhere to put the bodies. We had to open up the Halles de Rungis to stock the bodies there. That was absolutely appalling.
The scale of the deaths caused a huge national crisis in France. The government blamed the emergency system for being slow to react. The emergency services blamed the government for complacency. And the president blamed the citizens for abandoning their elderly relatives. The media savaged the whole political establishment. Eventually, the Surgeon General was forced to resign, and the Minister of Health was later dropped from the cabinet.
It's unbearable to admit that it was predictable, that there were measures we ought to have been able to put into action, but nothing was done.
The political failure to deal with the immediate impact of the heat wave soon gave way to a more alarming debate. Experts believe the French capital was now experiencing the effects of global warming.
Of course, the heat wave of 2003 is very exceptional. What is projected now from our simulation is that we should have such an occurrence of an heat wave every 2 years after 2070.
Serge Planton is head of the French Meteorological Service. To prevent a future disaster, he was asked to set up a weather warning system. Today, early signs of extreme weather are immediately communicated to health authorities. They also release a daily vigilance map outlining areas expecting the greatest heat increases.
We are projecting now that in the future the temperature should change by about 2 or 3 degrees. For example, we have calculated that during winter in the Alps, in northern Alps, the period of snow will decrease by 1 month.